Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As you can see by the title of today's video, we're going over the top 10 badges in NBA 2K20, just straight up, the best 10 badges in my opinion. Now what we're going to do with this video, it's a bit different from any of the top 10s or anything that you've seen before. I'm going to go ahead and show you the 10 badges that I've picked. As you can see, we got 1 finishing, 3 of each of the rest, and I'm going to go ahead and show you which ones that I picked, and then I'll show the ranking 1 through 10 and reveal them one by one. So, we're going to just go straight through with this. If you enjoy it, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. And if you have any disagreements, feel free to let me know. You can always drop a comment with that. But anyway, we'll get straight into this. So, number one, or not number one, my only one finishing badge is contact finisher. If you want to go ahead and say that this is what I think is the best finishing badge, feel free to think that. I mean, that's the obvious one in my opinion, is contact finisher for the finishing. We got 3 shooting, Hotzone hunter, range extender, and quick draw. Then we got 3 playmaking, handles for days, quick first step, and tight handles. And then 3 defense, clamps, intimidator, and pogo stick. Now I will have a couple honorable mentions at the end. There's like 5 of them, so just keep that in mind. There's only 10 badges I can put on this list. Now, like I said, if you disagree with any of the ones that I've put on here, feel free to let me know. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and rank them now. So, number 1, I have Intimidator. Alright, now here's the thing about this badge. My influence on this badge has, or my opinion on this badge has been influenced a little bit by what 2K Labs has had to say recently, where, bro, this badge, the effects that it has are just ridiculous. Now, what I will say too, if you can put 1 badge on for defense, say you have a build that has 1 defensive badge, absolutely put it on Intimidator. That is, it's the best bronze badge in the game by far. Now, the effects of it on Hall of Fame have been proven by 2K Labs. I don't always agree with what they say, but this is like a very justifiable badge to believe what they say, and I'm gonna go ahead and just take their word for it. I usually use this on Silver recently. Earlier in the year, I used it on Hall of Fame, but then I was told by just, it was like a stupid 2K myth that, oh, there's no effect of it any higher than Silver, and I kind of just chose to believe that because I was like, yo, this badge is working really good on Silver for me, but it's very illogical to think that way. Anyway, moving along to number 2. We're going to go ahead and pick a shooting badge right here and just say quick draw. So the thing about this badge, it's not dominant in any sense. It's not contact finisher dominant where, you know, you can just force your will upon somebody with that. But the thing is, it's a very needed and necessity badge where if you don't have this as a shooter, obviously you're just at a complete loss and there's nothing there's nothing more to talk about really. Quick draw is very essential. To have it on at least silver or gold is very nice. I will say this is a very good bronze badge in the first place too though, where it still functions. Like the difference between none and bronze is ridiculous how much quicker your jump shot gets, and it makes it at least functional to shoot if you do have like a low rating for 3-pointer shooting build that only gets like maybe 2-3 shooting badges. Definitely put at least bronze on for this. It's big time change from nothing to bronze. But anyway, you guys know the deal. The higher this is, the better for any shooter, and then when you get used to your jumper, it's big time, tremendous like difference. So anyway, moving along to number 3. We got range extender. So we got back-to-back shooting badges. The thing about this badge, like I said, it's a very dominant badge. It's not quick draw where it's a necessity. It's more like you can really stretch the pick and roll out, or like, you know, stretch people out with the pick and pop as well, where it's just so much range and so much area to cover. The more you have this from either of the screen game, whether it's the popper or the point guard, if you will, it's just this right here is just so it just improves it so much. Now, like I said, does this belong at 3? That's up to y'all to decide. Like I said, this is my list and I'm putting it at 3. Obviously, shooting runs this game to some extent, but like I said, I will say with the shooting, these in my opinion are the only 3 like really great badges. Green Machine can be okay, and then Deadeye is like extra. I feel like if you don't need it, but it's nice to have. And then I don't think any of this stuff is like necessary. If you're a low rating shooter, catch and shoot and corner specialist can be nice. But anyway, let me stick to the topic. We're gonna go ahead and just move to number 4. So number 4, we have tight handles. Now, this badge could be higher for sure. As far as its dominance, it may be number 1, honestly. It's just so easy to like manipulate people with this badge and just completely take advantage of them. Now, like I said, there's very different terms of these badges. If you want to talk necessity, these 2 are higher on that list. You don't need tight handles, but you can completely just manipulate your defender with tight handles. It's just ridiculous how long you get stunned for, and it turns 99 speed pure locks into kind of below average defenders, where even if you have crazy speed, you still get stuck and like not able to move for at least half a second, and it's just frustrating that there's no counter to this badge. I wish if they could make like, if they could just literally manipulate something like lightning reflexes. I know that's not the description that it's supposed to have, but you get what I'm saying. If they had a counter to this badge, I feel like that'd be really nice, but the fact of the matter is there is not, and that's what makes this so tough. Alright, so moving on to number 5, we got Pogo Stick. Now this is kind of an in-between as far as the necessity and like the force your will upon somebody type badge that I'm talking about here, where this is a very nice badge to have. It's more a necessity than a force your will type thing, just at the fact that you're not always going to get back down and, like, you know, people are going to try to take you into the hoop. But to have this badge on no matter what the height, y'all know if you've been with the channel, the 6'5" pure lock, little big man, bro, slapping that pogo stick on that player is just ridiculous what it can do for you. And it's not so much the pogo stick is OP, it's the fact that the constant, like, the way to affect shots this year, you can't play hands up if you're small. You can only play hands up if you're like 7'3". Now what that has done, like I said, Pogo Stick is big time for the smaller players like 6'8" or below, 6'9" or below, maybe even 6'10". But anyway, you guys know I use this at Hall of Fame no matter what when I'm on the 2s. It varies a little bit on the 3s just depending on what court I'm on. In stage, you guys know that people aren't really looking to score down low very often, nonetheless, like, ever in the post. So it's just kind of a fact of the matter. And this badge alone has just literally made post scorers irrelevant this year to some extent, except for the post hooks and the post fade. Don't get me wrong, but drop steps and like trying to baby people down low with, like, you know, drop steps and just contested finishing, yeah, Pogo Stick has literally just made that difference. All right, now moving on to number 6, we have quick first step. Now I want y'all to tell me in the comments real quick, what do you think is better between quick first step or tight handles? I think, in my opinion, quick first step is more of a necessity. You need to have this badge on if you're an outside point guard or a slasher, whereas tight handles is something that's very dominant. You can just manipulate your defender so easily with this. So just let me know what you guys think between that. Right now, I have tight handles at 4 and quick first step at 6. I just feel like quick first step is something that is very needed, but I don't know, and maybe I'm sleeping on it a little bit. Maybe I should have put this higher than tight handles. I just feel like the tight handles, when used properly, is so impossible to defend. I think most of us have just become accustomed to the fact that everybody always puts quick first step on. It's not too tough to deal with. As a slasher, to have this on, though, is big time with the triple threats. Crazy speed boost to get out of these. And like I said, quick first step is just something that a lot of point guards always have on, so it's hard to kind of tell the difference when they do and don't have it. But I'll tell you what, when you don't have this badge on, bro, you are just so slow. It's crazy what the difference is. Now coming in at number 7, we have contact finisher. Now the thing about this badge, I think a lot of you are going to be disappointed in me with where I put this badge. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed myself. But let me explain. If you look at everything we have above this, we got quick first step at 6, pogo stick at 5, then tight handles, range extender, quick draw, intimidator. I feel like this badge is probably like top 3 when it comes to dominance level, but the necessity of it is not quite as high, where, don't get me wrong, every slasher needs this badge by far, but it's really, that's the only thing that it's restricted to. Outside point guards don't need this very much. Say, like, you know, the play sharps that have no defense, they still get 10 finishing badges. It's just a contested finish badge that helps slashers who are capable of getting contact dunks feel more capable of getting contact dunks. Now, like I said, the dominance level of this is top 3. I think it's right up there with probably tight handles and range extender, and we'll even say maybe intimidator. But it's hard to just force intimidator upon somebody because, like, you know, they could just give the ball to the other guy on the court. But explanation of this, like I said, it's just not quite high on the necessity level as far as every badge or every build just in general. But like I said, for slashers, this is like way higher. If I were making a top 10 slasher badges, obviously this is number 1. Simple as that. Now, I want to explain why I didn't put any more finishing badges in here real quick, and then we'll get to number 8. But I want to explain. So I feel like contact finisher is by far the best finishing badge, and I feel like it's not that all these finishing badges are trash. It's just, I think it's very bottom heavy, where like you have the one great contact finisher badge, but then everything else is kind of like very balanced. It's nice to have a lot of finishing badge points, but if you had to like only have 3, it's not that bad. Basically what I'm saying is badges like consistent, acrobat, back down, deep hooks, lob finisher, drop stepper, fancy, pro touch, giant slayer, relentless, even definitely slithery. Like, all these badges have a great use. It's just they're not better than the ones that I put on this list, in my opinion. So I hope y'all understand that for all my slashers out there. I'm not disrespecting the slasher gang. I'm just saying that I think all these other badges are just a little bit better in my opinion. So anyway, moving on to number 8, we have handles for days. So This is way more necessity than it is dominance. Like I said, that's what this whole video has turned into, is like kind of debating the necessity versus dominance. But again, you just need this badge as a dribbler. I will say as a slasher, you don't necessarily need it, and obviously as, you know, a true inside big, you don't need it, or even pick and pop player. So again, this is why this badge is a little bit lower, same as contact finisher. It only pertains to literally like one set of people, which is the dribbling point guards. But at the end of the day, obviously it's very needed for those people. So anyway, handles for days obviously reduces the amount of energy when lost when performing dribble moves. So you get the deal. It's a very needed badge for those dribblers. We're just going to move on from that. I hope y'all understand exactly what I'm talking about with that. Number 9, we have Hotzone Hunter. Now, this badge, there's a reason this is so much lower on the list. It definitely helps you, but you don't constantly just have hot zones in every spot unless you are like a truly outside point guard, or you maybe only have hot zones in the corners. Say if you are like a role player who spots up corner. Pick and pop players, it may be even tougher to have this badge come into use. Maybe just your top of the key in like a specific wing, but you get what I'm saying. It's just the necessity of it, it's very high. You need this badge as a shooter. It's just, well, don't be wrong, you don't need it, but it's very nice to have. But you get the deal. It's not always going to be activated, and like I said, it's just not the most dominant badge when it comes to shooting. Obviously these two are better, and then you could even make the case that like Green Machine, I suppose, but I don't think this is like that big of a deal of a badge. Anyway, you let me, like I said, y'all let me know what I did wrong here, all right? But I feel pretty firm in saying that this list I think is pretty on point. But anyway, moving on to number 10, we have clamps. Now, I feel like I may have put this a little too low, but like I said, when you look back and review on everything that I've talked about here, you can maybe put this above Hotzone Hunter, I'll say that. But for this to be above handles for days, contact finisher, quick first step, pogo stick, tight handles, range extender, quick draw, or intimidator, I don't think so. Now, like I said, this is a great badge, top 10 badge. To be a top 10 is not bad. Don't be getting that twisted. A top 10 badge is a big time thing. Now, obviously, impedes like ball handlers from getting in front of you. It's very good for like on-ball defense. It's just simple as that. It's a great badge. But anyway, we're gonna move along to the honorable mentions. All right. So coming in with the best honorable mention spot, we have Slithery Finisher. Like I said, this is probably the second best finishing badge in my opinion. I'm gonna stick to that like very boldly and say this just helps you like when combined with contact finisher. It's so great. It's a great pair for contact finisher where you can just go for contact dunks, and even if you would have got stood up at the rim, it still helps you like maneuver and get like actual dunk animations. So the next spot for the honorable mentions, we got Rim Protector. Now, the thing about this badge, it helps you with a takeover boost. It helps you block shots. Simple as that. Great badge, like I said, but there's just not enough room on this list, to be honest. And like I said, to be like the number 12 badge is still pretty good. Now, honorable mention number 3, we have Brick Wall. I may be sleeping on this, but bro, like I said, there's so many good badges above this where I feel like because of the play styles where maybe it's like pick and pop or ISO, it's only specifically needed by the true inside bigs, in my opinion. And like I said, ISO is a very big thing in this game, and obviously Brick Wall does nothing for that. So just the necessity level of it kind of brought it down on my list a little bit. If you think it belongs above like clamps, Hotzone Hunter, handles for days, contact finisher, stuff like that, let me know. Like I said, this is all up to you guys in the comments to tell me what I did wrong with this. But anyway, moving along to the next one, we got 3 defensive badges in a row. Chase Down Artist was my next honorable mention. This badge is big time for anybody in the game. Now, the thing about it is the occurrence of like needing it is not all that often unless you play very specifically to this badge's need, if you will say. So what I mean by that is everybody can use this, whether it's guards, bigs, anybody. With the big, you can play higher hedge D and play for the chase down blocks on the paint takes from the bigs, or as a guard, you can play a lot tighter on the ball and play for the chase down blocks. It's just, like I said, the oftenness of it like being needed isn't all that high unless you play specifically to like this badge. Like I said, by like adjusting your defense quite a bit. So anyway, like I said, this could definitely be on the list, but like I said, the honorable mention list is not a bad one to be on. All right. So moving on to the final honorable mention, we have Flashy Passer. So the thing about this badge, nowhere near necessity. All right, you don't need this badge one bit. But the thing about it is, it's crazy. It's crazy what this thing does for you when you do put it on. So I will say, dominance level is probably top 5, honestly, or top 4. So the thing about it is, and if you guys don't know, and I'll just brief you on it a little bit. So when you use this badge, when you flashy pass, your teammate will literally get takeover off 2 shots. Whether he's a shooter, if he is like shooting the ball, even on gold. If you have this on gold, your shooter will literally get takeover in 2 3-point shots. Now, your finisher, if you flashy pass to him and he just forces it in for a hop dunk or a contact dunk, literally 2 dunks on gold, and you will have takeover. It's like a very dominant badge, but like I said, you're never gonna need this just random occurrence. You gotta go into the game knowing you're gonna use it. So again, that's the thing that takes it down on the list a little bit. Let me know what y'all think of this list. Feel free to let me know. Like I said, we gave 5 honorable mentions and then my top 10 list. And then if you want to go ahead and give me your top 10 list, feel free to, or even like your top 1 or 3, whatever you feel like, just leave it in the comments. So anyway, hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. And if you made it to the very end, put badge in the comments to show your support that you made it all the way through. But other than that, hope y'all enjoyed. If we could get this to like 500 likes as well, that'd be really appreciated by me. And other than that, hope y'all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.